Alright guys, we're back with more content, and this time we're going to be covering the first preview of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Let's get this started. This is the footage provided by IGN, and I'll probably put a link in the description to this video if you guys want to actually go look at it over there. Yes, I know it came out yesterday and everybody and their mothers already covered it, but I just wanted to get my 2 cents in.
Hard as it is to believe, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is 10 years old this year. That's a long time to support anything, but Xenoverse 2 is one of those rare games that found a community that stuck with it. Nothing lasts forever though, and Xenoverse 3 is looking to shake things up by moving the series to age 1000. At SGF, I got to play Xenoverse 3 and talk with producer Masayaki Hirano about age 1000, making a brand new Xenoverse game after 10 years, and why my character's room was so damn messy. Turns out, like almost all things Dragon Ball, there's a reason. My demo started with character select, Earthling or Saiyan. Now, normally I'd pick a Saiyan. I mean, who doesn't love your hair
not gonna
getting
lie,
progressively
the
bigger and
female
more yellow as
Earthling
you
is
power up? Am I
picked
right?
up.
But for
Not
this
gonna
demo,
lie, just
I played
gonna
an
put that out
Earthling.
there.
Can't win them all, I suppose. But there I was in age 1000, in the most cluttered room you've ever seen in your life. Books and magazines everywhere, half-unpacked cardboard boxes atop
Now the
plastic
graphical
tubs,
fidelity
a sofa
looks a
smack in
little
the middle of
iffy,
it, and a desk and computer sitting next to
but
what
that's
looks like one of the
because
pods
this is
that
an
Vegeta and
in-progress
Nappa
build,
arrived in
and
during the
it's
Saiyan
probably
saga.
not.
Listen,
It probably
I'm a
doesn't look
pack
this
rat,
bad.
I
It's probably
get it.
just like the
But man, it looks like
impression
my
for
girl never
footage.
got done unpacking, or maybe never even
That
started.
room is a mess.
No time to tidy things up though. I had a mission, which meant heading down to the lobby and outside
Now there's a
to meet up with my
full-on
team.
hub where you have your
Along
own
the way, I saw
apartment
old
and
favorites like
everything.
Trunks, Natch, if you know anything about the Xenoverse lore, and Vegeta from the
You
Saiyan
got
arc.
Saiyan
Maybe
arc
he was there to get his
Vegeta.
pod back. Who knows? Either
Is
way,
he like a
was sure to let me know
mentor?
that helping me was less work than carrying back my body bag. Rude. I also got to walk around the city a bit.
Interesting.
One of the coolest things about Dragon Ball is its
So,
malleability. It can be
Xenoverse
just
3
about
seems to
anything
have
at
its
once.
own.
But what does it mean to jump ahead that far in time? What might a Xenoverse game
Xenoverse 3 seems to have its hub. I mean, obviously. There was Tokyo City, Catan City. Now it makes expanding a borderline full-on open world experience at this point, and I would hope that there aren't many load times with this. Smooth transition, things like that.
set in the far future be like? What would it allow the player to do? Hirano tells me that a lot of that comes from the late Akira Toriyama himself. Toriyama designed the characters and came up with the setting and the lore. Xenoverse has always been about doing something new with Dragon Ball, so Age 1000 seemed like a good fit. But the team had to do a lot of work to make that a reality. While they didn't communicate with Toriyama directly, they did spend a lot of time talking to his team, going over resources and documentation, and figuring out how things worked and what they were and were not allowed to do. Hirano told me that they wanted to get as close to that vision as they could with Xenoverse 3. Once I was on my mission, joined up with characters like Brett, who you might have seen in the trailers, it was time for some classic Xenoverse action. I was in a kind of icy canyon, full of enemies who wanted nothing more than to make sure my team...
This right here. So as I'm recording this right now, you're not going to see. But I'm going to put up the entrance animation of Battle of Z. From the gameplay that I've watched here, there seems to be a lot of DNA taken from Zenkai Battle Royale, or Zenkai Burst, and Battle of Z infused with that, Xenoverse formula. It honestly feels like a melding of Xenoverse, Battle of Z, and Dragon Ball Online into this very strange but intriguing map. Now, I do really hope that there is combo potential, because yes, there is the ability to switch movesets and things like that. But as you'll see, there's a few things I want to point out that I do have a few issues with, and question how it's going to correlate with the actual gameplay of the game.
And I would need the Dragon Balls if we wanted to keep breathing. I won't lie to you, it's been a hot second since I played Xenoverse 2, but it's just one of those games you jump back into. It didn't take long before I was flying
now,
enemies at
the
full
HUD I
speed,
do not
and
like.
with a good
They
old-fashioned
really need to
combo,
change the
and canceling
way the
that
HUD
into one of my
looks
special
like a
moves,
lot.
like the Kamehameha
Obviously, it's
or
just probably just for
Kaioken combo
tutorials,
that
and it's
broke
going to
out
look
his back.
significantly
It was
different.
fast and
Now,
snappy,
the
and it
lock-on
felt
system
pretty slick.
definitely gives me Battle of Z vibes. That's for sure.
If you've ever played any of the Xenoverse
animations
games
do
you'll be
look
right at home,
cleaner,
it's easy to pick up
lightly
and play
less
even if you
stiff,
haven't
and the
or haven't in a
animations,
while. While I
especially
was
the
taking
flying
out mooks, I got to play with a
animations
couple
are
of
very
Xenoverse
smooth.
3's new additions. First, there are ultimate attacks.
Wait, what was that attack in
These
the
aren't
background?
new exactly, but I did get to try out a crazy strong Kamehameha that
never
lets you
mind.
target multiple guys at once, and then unleash the power of the Kame style in a grand fashion.
That Kamehameha is massive.
When you've got a group of baddies that absolutely positively has to die in Xenoverse 3, accept no substitutes. Perhaps less flashy but no less exciting is the Soul Assist, which allows you to call on a
Now,
character
the Soul
to help
Assist
you
is
out.
very strange
My
to
Soul
me.
Assist was Vegeta
A
from
lot
the
of people are
Saiyan Saga.
worried that
Turns out
they're
his
not
talk
going
about
to
teaming up
be
wasn't just for show. When I called him
like.
in, he'd appear and we'd team up for
I
a
want to know
two-person
what that
Galick gun.
is.
Rad.
I hope there
Naturally,
can be
all
like
of this
an
stuff is on a cooldown timer
in-game
slash
like
meter
team
because
or
video
in-team
games are
team
only
assist
allowed to
where
be
you can
fun
partner with
sometimes,
your
but it does rule
teammates,
when you pull one of
like with a
these
clan or
techniques off,
something,
and
and
it's
it gives
especially
specific
useful
buffs
against bigger
instead of a
enemies.
move, or it is a move that enhances.
Once all the mooks in my
Let's say
ice
if you
canyon
do
were
it with
dealt
like a
with, it was time
teammate,
for
it
the
gives
big
like a
bad voodoo
40%
daddy
increase
of
in
my
damage
demo,
to that move.
Broly himself. You ever had a boy?
Or it
I sure
just
am glad I'm not alone in this fight
is
against the
double
boss
damage
moment.
because both of you
Yeah?
are doing
Well,
it. I
that's
don't know.
Broly. Super Broly, not the one from Z. Important
Now, I do
distinction.
hope
Anyway,
the
Broly's
assist
how you'd
or
figure.
soul
He
assist
likes
can
to
be
form this
like
big energy
a
field around himself and shoot ki blasts everywhere.
boost or a
Hard to
utility
dodge unless you
ability.
find the
Instead of
sweet
just
spot in
partnering with
Lista's
someone,
garage,
you should
or
be able
hide
to
behind
like
one of the big ice
use
shards
like a
conveniently
partial
placed around the
barrier or
environment.
something,
That works great until
like a
Broly
utility
removes his
thing or like a
Broly
defensive
and his
thing,
ki blast break
more
through
than
the
just
thing, but hey,
offensive
them's the
assists.
breaks.
That would be very
Otherwise, he
interesting. I'd
does
like
Broly
that.
things, shoots giant energy waves from his
Now,
mouth, smashes
this
you into the ground and
boss
flings you
fight
mad
gives me
yonder, and so on.
massive
Oh,
Dragon
and he
Ball
blocks by
Online
crossing
and
his
Battle of
arms
Z
and staring
vibes.
at you. It's a nice touch.
Broly's model looks magnificent though.
When
Now,
he's not doing that, or shooting energy
the
blasts,
soul
your job is
change
to
is
get in his
weird.
face and give him the
I
business.
hope
And that's where Xenoverse
soul
3's
change
other
is
cool new twist
not
comes into
what.
play. The tricking question is called Soul Switch, which does exactly what it
I
sounds
hope
like as your
soul
character
change or
pulls a
soul
blue
switch
flame into their
doesn't
chest and transforms into another
replace
character,
the
complete with all their
usefulness or the
wonderful
option
toys.
to select
This time around, I
like
got
main
Trunks, and
characters,
if you're watching this, you
because
probably know all of them by heart.
that would be
Burning
very
attack,
weird. Like,
it's there.
yes, I prefer playing as my
The
custom
slick
created
sword
character,
combo into energy blast that put
but
Frieza
I
down?
would hope
Yep.
they would remain playable.
Tossing a
Like,
dude into
past
the air
characters
and then
should
hitting him
remain
with a
playable
massive
fully,
energy
and I really do
blast? That
believe
too.
they will, because it would fundamentally cut off a lot of
Soul Switch
usefulness
is a
for
neat
DLC.
mechanic. It lets you be in the
And
world with your own
Bandai
character while
definitely
calling
wants
on a
to
Dragon
milk
Ball
this game
character
at
to not only power
10
you
to
up when you
15
need it,
years
but
compared
live out
to
what it's like to be
Xenoverse
that
2, just
character for a
measly
while.
10
Pretty
years.
neat, and it worked pretty well against old Broly. After a little back and forth that involved me saving one of my characters, come on, Brat, you can do better, Broly finally went down.
I didn't know you had that kind of power.
I felt like I had a decent idea of and figuring out what they wanted to do in that world. Ultimately,
It's
he told
very
me Xenoverse
different.
3 was built around three core
Very,
pillars: the
very
story, the
different.
new characters, and customizability. Speaking of customization, Hirono told me that he thinks there's a level of customization in Xenoverse 3 that wasn't in the original games, and the team got there by approaching it with a different mindset. For the first
I
two
am glad
games,
about
they
the
focus on making things
customization.
as balanced as possible, but as Hirano noted, once people figure out what the optimal answer is, that becomes how most people do it. In Xenoverse 3, they really wanted to focus on customization and offering players a lot of different strategies, so they could build the teams they enjoyed and play how they liked. I'm looking forward to doing
genuine
that in the
freedom.
future, but I had one more question. One more thing that was bothering me. Why was my character's room so messy? The question got a laugh, but I also learned a little more about Xenoverse 3 as a result. Hirano assured me that the room would be tidied up over time, and Koa, the robot that hangs out there, would help. But he also told me that the idea with Xenoverse 3 was to really immerse players into that world.
A
And
living
there were story
world.
reasons that the
I
room
like
was
that.
so messy. Turns out your room is actually Bulma's room / office / storage unit. So the room may be a mess,
Interesting.
but it's really not your fault. Makes sense to me. Xenoverse 3 already seems full of potential and fun new ideas for the series, but I know I'll be paying
So our
attention to that
character's
room as I get more
homeless.
time with it.
Nice.
I may just be an Earthling in Age 1000, but I do want to live in a nice space.
I'm gonna be a
That's one of the
dirty
things that's
monkey.
always true, no matter what
Yes,
year
yes,
it is,
dirty
even if you are
monkey.
palling around with Goku and the gang.
Dirty monkey.
For more,
I
check
might
out our
actually make
previews of
a-
Ace Combat 8
I don't
and Final
wanna
Fantasy
see
Resonance,
this.
and for everything else in the world of gaming, keep it here at IGN.
Anywho, guys, this is very interesting. It's very, very different. Xenoverse is a completely different game, and I think that's okay. I just hope that the combat and the combos are bigger and better than ever, and aren't very clunky. Now, I'm pretty sure there'll probably be a way to reduce the cooldowns on our skills, considering there doesn't seem to be a stamina bar. It's more like actual Dragon Ball where ki is used for everything. This little bar right here seems to be your ki. Now, I'm going to start breaking down the similarities to Battle of Z in just a little bit. Give me a second. I got to cut real quick, guys. Okay, guys, we're back, and yeah, we're looking at Rhyme Styles' video. As you can see, this is different, but a little bit similar to what I was saying to in Xenoverse 3's combat preview.
Show you the different combos and
This is
moves and different features that you can do in Battle of Z. Every time I
this
play
is
online,
Rhyme,
I
man.
always notice that people always do the same thing over and over again. They're either button mashing Y and triangle and then leading that into a chase attack, or they're staying off from distance and just firing a bunch of key blasts at you. Well, hopefully this video will help you out and pull
This
off
is what I
battles
meant.
and do
It
more
definitely
damage.
reminded me,
This
especially
video
with
is
like
broken
the
down into
assault
4 parts.
chase.
Part 1 is going to be about dodging, 2 is going to be about how to use your unique attacks strategically, and then 3 and 4 is going to be your more advanced stuff.
Mind
How
you,
to
this
use your
game came out in
unique attacks along with your
2014,
melee
like
and super
a
moves
year
to the
before
most damage
Xenoverse 1. This
possible.
game is
So
12
without
years
further
old,
ado, let's just jump right
and
into
I
it.
had this day
Dodging
one
should
just
be
like I
your
had
best friend.
Xenoverse
Something
1
that
day
also
1
allows
and
a lot of
Xenoverse
people
2
tend
day
to use
1.
dodging as a method to travel faster on a map rather than to actually dodge moves.
Now this
Well,
game
if you do it right, you will
was
avoid taking a lot of damage. Also,
decent.
if you get
I
hit,
give it a
pressing the dodge button allows you to do a
7
quick recovery,
out of
which gives
10
you a
at
chance to
best.
jump right back into action with the counterattack. Make sure you understand how to use both of your character's special abilities. Something else
But
also
the way
learned is
the way
people didn't
skills
know that
had
you can use
cooldowns
focus Kaioken attack 2
reminds
times
me
in a
of this
row.
game.
If you hit once, you can actually follow up again with a kick
Now
to the
you did
face.
use key
Don't
for
forget
it, but
that
there
each character
certain
functions
skills had a
differently. Piccolo,
cooldown.
for example, he's an interference character. You can use his long arm grabs to set up
Interference
strategic
is
moves where
crazy.
you stun the character, allowing your teammates to shoot a Kamehameha wave at him, or you can stop an opponent who's trying to escape and bring
Assault
him right back
chase.
into action. And of course, if your teammates are locked on the same enemy as well, feel free to get them
Yeah.
involved.
Assault
And after the
chase.
more fun stuff, you can actually do longer combos by using your unique ability.
There were basically no
attack.
combos
If
in
you're
the
button mashing
game.
Y or triangle, you can
Xenoverse
approximately
3's
pull off
combat
7 to 8
basically
hits before
reminds
your
me
character
of
knocks
an
the enemy away.
advanced
However,
variant of
you
it.
can use your unique ability in between
Now,
hits to keep the combo
as for
going. This will allow you
customization
to
of
lengthen
what's
your
going to happen in
combos to about
Xenoverse 3, I
15
have
to
no
20
idea,
hits,
but I
which
have
leads us to our
very
final
high
tip.
hopes.
Linking combos with
And
super
as for
moves.
transformations, I'm not going to get my hopes up for anything crazy, but I do hope we get Super Saiyan 4 and maybe the cooler transformation and absorption for Namekians and Akosians.
Not only will you almost always hit, you will also maximize damage and about
As an
90%
absorption, I
of the
mean
time,
fusion
knock
Namek.
out your opponent. And if you want to get really fancy, you can mix in that chase combo with it, and whenever the final
But
bullet
yeah,
delivers
pretty
for
much
your
the chase
teammates,
combo,
then finish
the
them
snap
off with your
vanishing
super
kind of
attack.
reminds me of
Now, the
that. I
timing here
do
has to be
believe
perfect, so until you
it is
master
something
the
similar
combo,
to this.
I suggest you avoid using an alliance
But
and
nonetheless,
do it
I have
without the chase.
no idea what's going to happen in the future of Xenoverse 3 because it's so different. It's so hard to kind of figure out what to do. I'm not a combat combat analyzer. I don't really know how to do a full depth combat analysis. I'm a hack and slash FPS arena fighter, or more like Mortal Kombat Street Fighter type of player. Didn't really dabble much into Xenoverse 2's PvP after like 2021, so I don't really know what changed, but I am very intrigued with how this is gonna change. It's giving me vibes of older Dragon Ball games. It feels like a mashup of so many good things, so many good ideas that, if well executed, could literally make Xenoverse 3 the de facto Dragon Ball game at the time. Now, I heard rumors that, and I'm gonna see if I can find those, add those into the video. If not, I might just make a second video about Xenoverse 3 having crossplay. If that is the case, that would be phenomenal for the longevity of the game. The game will basically be able to live forever. If Xenoverse 2 survived without crossplay for 10 years, Xenoverse 3 could last for 20, which means they're gonna milk 20 years of DLC, $30 a pack. I'm calling it right now, $30. Nonetheless, guys, thank you all for watching. See you all in the next episode. Peace.